Hi, I'm Sarada. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are going to be learning how to make this two-piece set. If that's something you're interested in, come with me and let's get started. This is the fabric I'm going to be using. It's called an Adire fabric. I'm going to also be using an elastic and a matching thread for this. The first thing we're going to do is draft and cut our shorts. So for me here, I'm doing my hip measurement plus 4 inches. That will be how wide the shorts will be, right? You can go ahead and add more if you want it to be a lot looser. Then the next thing I'm going to do is get the difference from my waist to my hip and then from my hip to my crotch. After which I'm going to go ahead and mark out the length line plus maybe 1 or 1.5 inch depending on what you decide to use. I'm going to go ahead and use my straight rule to make everything visible so I know where I'm marking what. Up here is where we're going to go out by 2 inches, and when you go ahead to remeasure, everything falls in line and in place. It's just you're measuring without the 2 inches in mind first. So from here I'll go in by 3 inches. So the upper one is the hip and the lower one is the crotch line. I will also mark 3 inches at the waistline. Use my straight rule to connect all those dots together to form a straight line. The next thing I'm going to do is use my French curve to create a curve from my hip line down to the crotch area, just like this. And then I'm going to take it all the way down. Basically it's still 3 inches there, so I just went ahead to cut it off. I'm going to go ahead now to place the front piece onto another fabric to serve as the back piece, and I'm going to go out on the hip line and waistline by 2 inches. On the crotch line I went out by 3 inches still, because the back is supposed to be a lot bigger than the front in so many different ways, so that's why I did that. And up here I'm going to go up by 1 inch. You can do 1 or 1.5 inch, right? But seeing as I'm going to be adding a band of 2 inches on here, 1 would just be fine for me. At the back leg I'm going to also be going out by 3 inches, so you do that and then I'll go ahead to cut. I'm not going to be adding a pocket to mine, but you can go ahead to add a pocket to yours if you decide to. I actually have a tutorial up on the channel on how to attach a pocket to your pants or shorts, so you can go and check that out. Next thing I'm going to do is close this up by 1/2 inch on the curved areas. So 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on the other side. Now let's focus on the top. For the top I wanted something different, right? And as you can see I do not have a lot of fabric left. So I went ahead to fold this into 4, and I'm just going to go ahead and mark out my shoulder measurement first, which is 7, and then I'll use whatever is left as my extension line. Then I'll go ahead for the back neckline. I went down by 1 inch and I came in by 3.5 inch, so that would be the width and breadth of it all. And I use my French curve to create a curve, so we have a curve for the back neckline. For the front neckline I'm going to be getting a V, but before I do that I'm going to go ahead and go down by 1 inch to form a shoulder slope for this. Now that we have the shoulder slope, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead from the shoulder slope to mark out my armhole measurement, right? I did 7 here. You see me do the 7. I changed it later and did 8 because why am I doing 7? At first I didn't want my armhole to show so much, but I just chose to do 8 at the end of the day. So here I'm marking out my waistline and then the length of the top. Remember that this is a crop top, so you can choose your length to be where your waistline is, or you can go a little lower. right? Next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead to form a line here to make sure that I have my sleeve, and then go ahead to use my French curve to create a curve. It's more like a boo-boo style but for a top. Okay, next thing I'm going to do after doing all that is go ahead to mark out what I want the length of my front neckline to be. I told you it's going to be a V neckline, so I'm marking out 7 here. You can go as low as 8 if you want, and then I'll just start cutting things off that we no longer need. I'm starting with the back part first. I will go ahead and separate afterwards and cut out the V neckline for the front area. Now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and put them right sides facing each other and go ahead to sew the shoulder by just 1/4 inch is fine. Now that we've gone ahead to close this part, we're going to go ahead and put this together. So we're going to place it right sides facing each other. So the right side of the front and the right side of the back will be facing each other. Like I said, I will not be adding the pockets to this, so I'm just going to go ahead and close it up by 1 inch. And I'll be closing the bottom part by 1/2 inch, but I'll first make sure that these two parts meet each other and they're on the same part. I'll go ahead to pin it together so it doesn't move. Now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and attach the design that we want at the side of the sleeve. So what I'm doing here is measuring this, and whatever it gives you on your end, you go ahead and divide that by 2 and add at least 1.5 inch or so in allowance. At least that's what I did here for mine, right? And then I'll just go ahead to get the width of it, like how wide I want it to be. So you could do 4 or 5 and then go ahead to use that same one to cut another one. Instead of you to start remeasuring and all that, just use that same one to cut another one, and when you're done you can go ahead to fold it in. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in like this and place it on the sleeve part of this. Now whatever excesses are going to remain after I put this together, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and use my bias tape to turn it from the outside to the inside, from the right side to the wrong side, and then I'll go ahead to close this up and hem the ends of the top. For the band of the short, I already have a detailed tutorial on how to do that up on the channel. I'll be linking it up on the screen here so you can go and check that out. But the next thing we're going to do right now is to put the band onto the pants or shorts in this case. So I'm going to do the 4 cardinal rule, right? I'm going to take this and fold it into 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and use pins to pin the edges of what I have here. So that's why I said the 4 cardinal rules. I have 3 pins here, and you'll notice that one part is already sewn down, so that will be going towards the back side. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down, and then I'll go ahead and pin it down on all the other sides, like front, back, side to side. And that's what I'm going to do here. After going ahead to pin it down, I'll go over to my sewing machine and just sew it down, and as I sew, I'll pull. This is what the band looks like at the back side, on the shorts. This is what it looks like. So you want to go ahead and weave this so you have a neat finish on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over so we can see what it looks like at the front side. Look at what it looks like. It looks so neat and so cute, you guys. And this is what the top looks like. Very beautiful. I hope you get to try this out for yourself. I hope you love the process of making yours as much as I have enjoyed the process of making mine. Yeah, with that being said, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. Don't forget to love yourself because I love you. Have a beautiful day or night, whichever it's usually for. Bye.